Hey YouTubers, this is Charlie. Thank you everyone that asked questions on, the Batman vs Superman trailer, the Flash and Arrow episodes this week. There's a lot of stuff to talk to, so I tried to compress this just so I could do as much as possible. So we'll just start with the Batman vs Superman trailer. I know it's, technically it's Batman v Superman. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they went with the V instead of the outright versus, but I think once we get closer to the actual movie, they'll explain the logic behind that. I think it'll be part of the story of the film, because they will be coming together in Justice League. For the most part, this will be Batman and Superman at each other's throats. Speaking of which, the first big question, the Alfred voiceover, where he talks about fear and feeling of powerlessness turning good men cruel. He's actually talking about all of the main characters, not just Lex Luthor and Superman. He's talking about Batman, even the regular people, like the senators. Thematically, it's like the John F. Kennedy speech, the famous speech. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. As you would guess, all of the heroes will be able to overcome their fear by the end of the film. Lex Luthor will not. That's why he's the villain. He will succumb to becoming a cruel person, even though Batman looks like he's really ready to make Superman bleed in this. So next big question, how does Batman beat Superman in this film if Superman is a god, or the closest you can get to being a god? We know that in this universe, Superman does kill, which is actually a departure from previous films. Him killing Zod was a really big deal. This scene actually here takes place where that happened. That's Batman really tiny on screen. You can barely see him. The way Zack Snyder explained the logic of killing Zod is that Superman felt like he had no other choice. He has a choice whether or not to kill Batman, so he is not going to kill Batman. Batman, however, does not make that distinction. He is totally willing to kill Superman. Add to that, he has unlimited money, and he's every bit as cunning as genius Lex Luthor. He will find a weakness in Superman to exploit, just like Lex Luthor will. It might not be the same weakness, but he will find something. There are things that like Superman can't fight, like internet piracy. How does Superman fight internet piracy? How does Superman stop a trailer from being leaked? Solve that problem. You can't heat vision everyone's computers in the world. Next big question, Batplane looks like it's shooting bullets at people. A lot of people are thinking that this is the Batplane and Batman is trying to kill these people here. I don't think that's the case. That's not confirmed Batwing, and we don't know that Batman is flying it. It could be someone else co-opting Batman's technology, or it could be some other criminal element in the film. Lex Luthor's probably not going to be the only villain we see. Speaking of villains, that big voiceover, do you bleed? A lot of people are wondering if that's maybe like another person in the film, like another villain character, and not Batman. I still think that it's Batman affecting his voice with technology. I noticed a few people commenting that Kevin Smith said something about them affecting Batman's voice with technology, as opposed to him doing it himself, like doing the Christian Bale Batman voice technique. I can't confirm that, but I do think that that's Batman saying that line. There's no way that they would tease us with like a Batman versus Superman punch out without actually doing it on screen. That would be the biggest middle finger to everyone watching this trailer. Yes, they will settle their differences by the end of the trailer, but not before they punch it out just like a little bit. That doesn't even address what Wonder Woman's role is going to be in this film. If she's every bit as strong as Superman, what is she going to be doing? Most of the time in her comics, her MO is that she is a diplomat, so I think she's going to be something of an intermediary. Like I said before though, most of this film is going to be Batman and Superman. I think, Wonder Woman will be in there, but she won't have as big a role as those two characters. Next big question, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I saw a lot of people wondering if he's going to be tied to the Cyborg character, because Cyborg had like a scientist dad that worked at Star Labs. I don't think that's the case. I think that Neil deGrasse Tyson in the movie will be playing Neil deGrasse Tyson. Because a lot of sci-fi superhero films want to tie themselves to the real world, seem more realistic, they'll invoke real life characters in the films. It'd be like Stan Lee playing Stan Lee in a Marvel film. Neil deGrasse Tyson is just like the rock star of the science world, so he's one of the more fun people to bring into a film, just because he's really good on camera. If you've never watched his show Cosmos, it's a lot of fun. You should check it out. Next big thing, the IMAX screening. So what's happening is because of the leak, Zack Snyder added a couple of shots to the IMAX screening. So if you're going to a theater to see the trailer on Monday, you'll see more footage than we saw in this official trailer here. I don't think we'll see Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, or Aquaman or those characters. I think the extra scenes they added will just add some more context for what's going on in the film. If you remember Avengers Age of Ultron, they waited till the third trailer to put Vision in. So moving into Flash territory, I know a lot of you guys are asking about like the staggered episodes, because next week is episode 19 of The Flash, but it's episode 20 of Arrow. So here's what's going on. The timeline of both shows is meant to sync up. So when episode 19 of The Flash is happening, episode 19 of Arrow is happening. It's a little messed up that the episodes are out of sync, but the way they wrote the episodes, they totally work. It's not going to completely mess up the story of each episode. they design it that way on purpose. Like when they do crossover episodes, they try to make it so that it works on its own, even if you miss like that week's episode of the other show. So if you see episode 20 of Arrow, but you miss episode 20 of The Flash, it's not going to completely mess stuff up. I think one of the best moments that you guys commented on Arrow this week is that Oliver said, why don't we just get Barry to solve this problem? That's been the question ever since the season started. Like, how come Oliver just doesn't call the Flash to come and fix his problems, especially the mid-season finale? Felicity's answer to that is that Barry is just like so effed up in the head that he can barely handle getting up in the morning. So regardless of what you think of Felicity's excuse, they did address it. And I think they'll continue to do that. They'll say like, hey, why don't we just call this person? And then some other character will say, well, we can't because XYZ. You also have to consider that Oliver is getting ready to, or seems like he's getting ready to join the League of Assassins. I don't think that we won't address that on The Flash. Someone will say something about that. Next big question, WTF is going on with Eddie and Iris, and is that going to inform Eddie maybe turning bad or doing something crazy? We have a little more context for Eddie killing these two cops in the trailer. No, I don't think that has anything to do with Grodd. I think that's the shapeshifter. This character is Everyman from the comics. That's who this is. So whenever we see Barry Allen fighting himself in the trailer, that's also from that episode probably. It's just the shapeshifter taking on properties of other people that he touches. The fun part is that the Everyman Project is something that Lex Luthor did in the DC universe. So it's like, like a subtle tie to Lex Luthor, but I don't think they'll ever be able to mention LexCorp on The Flash. The next couple of episodes will give you a better idea of how Eddie's relationship with Team Flash is going to change going into the season finale. I do, he is a good character, but I think that events will conspire to make him do something that he's not proud of. Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, will still be the big villain this season. Like, they're not going to change that. There won't be any dramatic left turns. It's all building up to this big team-up moment. Firestorm, Ra's Amel, and the Flash versus the Reverse Flash. What I do think is going to happen is the Reverse Flash will start targeting Iris, and then that will put Eddie and Barry in this really weird situation. Moving into Arrow territory. So I know everyone's asking about the League of Assassins, Oliver joining up, Baby becoming the next Ra's al Ghul, and Thea getting in the Lazarus Pit. Just to start with the first thing, Oliver joining the League of Assassins, I don't think he's going to immediately become Ra's al Ghul. He'll join the League so that Thea can use the Lazarus Pit. I think the next couple of episodes after that, before the finale, will deal with the idea of succession. And no, I don't think that Nyssa's just going to sit idly by. I think that she will try to help Team Arrow in some way. Next big question, who is that mystery woman that we keep seeing in all the trailers? The woman that looks like she is related to Nyssa or Ra's al Ghul. She could be Nyssa's mother. What I don't think is that she is a comic book character that we haven't heard about yet, like Lady Shiva. Typically, characters like that are really big, they announce those whenever they cast them. So I do think she is a character that flows from the comic books, but I don't think she's like a comic book superhero or supervillain. Next big question, what's going on with the spinoff? I know a lot of you are asking. So what's happened is they've finished filming both seasons of The Arrow and Flash, and there was a scene with pictures of spinoff characters on a rooftop. We don't know if the scene is going to be part of either episodes of the finale. What I think is going to happen is it's going to be like that Fight Club trailer where it's not part of an episode. It's just like a fun promo moment. I think what'll happen is that they'll air the finales of both shows and then they'll air a teaser for the spinoff show because they haven't even finished filming the spinoff yet. They haven't even finished casting it yet. They have filmed footage with those characters, with some of the spinoff characters. So what they're doing is they're probably just teeing up what's going to be happening in the spinoff. It's totally possible if they are filming a trailer for that they could wait till Comic-Con to air it, but I think that they would want to air that after like the finale of The Flash and Arrow just to maximize viewership. Right now, all the spin-off stuff is still just a lot of speculation. We still don't know how Katie Lotz is coming back. We still don't know who some of those other mystery characters are. We still don't know who the villain is. But thank you so much, everyone, for submitting questions. These are always a ton of fun to do. So next week, new episodes of Arrow and The Flash. If there's any like really crazy new footage in the IMAX Batman vs. Superman trailer, I'll let you guys know. I'll do a new video for it. I'm also going to be seeing Avengers Age of Ultron on Tuesday night. So I'm going to do like a non-spoiler review of that. So be sure to subscribe to get that. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm still trying to get through the rest of my Daredevil videos. I've seen the whole season. I haven't had time to make videos for all the episodes yet. Tomorrow will be new Game of Thrones. So I'll be doing, bonus video, episode video for that, just like normal, with a new round of the giveaway. It's been a really awesome week. Lots of Star Wars stuff happening, lots of Marvel, lots of DC stuff. So while you guys wait for me to finish all those other videos, you can click here to watch the Batman v Superman trailer like 10, 15 more times. And you can click here to watch the Star Wars trailer again. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody, let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.